Hey, wonderful people, how is it going? Joy here once again, coming with very beautiful scent, which happens to be one of my recent purchases, which I was looking to buy for a very long time, and I'm very glad that I got it in my collection. So let me see if I can do a little bit justice to this fragrance and talk about a little bit. I'll try to keep it minimalist, but then, as you know, time flies. All right, so the fragrance I got here for you to watch and to review is none other than Burberry's Brit Rhythm, not the Intense, the EDT. All right, so let me show you the presentation first, then I'll talk about it. Okay, so all right, before I show the presentation, I just want to talk about something. This fragrance actually was in my list for a very long time. Like from last year or so, I bought certain fragrances. With those, every time you buy something, they give you in the mall like those little samples and whatnot that looks like these, little, you can travel with these and a little bit sprayer, so you always get like 5 ml or so I had actually a sample of this fragrance, Burberry Brit Rhythm. All right, and then I was always I took it in Bangladesh one time during the winter, one of these years, I think last year or so. And then when I was traveling, I was always like spraying once or twice from the sample as I was moving. And then I was thinking, this is a nice fragrance, but then I was never actually could be able to like get myself into that position that I get the full bottle. From time to time it occurred to me. And then actually recently I was looking into this latest releases. Some of these latest releases, I'll tell you, like I was doing my research a little bit before, because I usually don't go and then buy right away. I do my research. So among those lists, I was actually looking into Dior Parfum Spice Bomb, which was very high up on my list, and also as I mentioned in one of the groups, it's the Body Shop's Black Musk, very beautiful fragrance. I was really very close to buying it, and the price is very good as well. Then Azaros Chrome, which happens to be one of my favorite in summer. Dior Intense, and the backup bottle, full bottle, 100 ml. Then the 1 million Privé. I was very interested in that, like very, very interested, because I have the original 1 million with me, and I want to see if that was a bit really different from that, because I heard good things about it. But then also there was Salvatore Ferragamo Umo, and then Hugo by Hugo, one of the classics, and then also the Polo Super Leather, I think it's Supreme Leather, sorry, and as well the Dior Cologne and Dior Sport. So basically I was very close to buying one of these or few of those, but then actually I ended up buying this. So I'll tell you the reason why I ended up buying this. All right, so now let's go to the presentation. So here the box, as you can see, okay, all right, I'm holding it wrong. Okay, so here, so Burberry's Brit Rhythm, very nice, elegant looking box. Nothing special. I mean, the material wise, it's not that great. I mean, not top quality or so, but the very nice feel, premium feel to the box. Very black, dark, and the silver writing on it. Really like it. And you're gonna get the name, and as well you get some information for men. This is for a men's fragrance, and also it's 90 ml, which is a little bit painful because usually I like to get those 100 mls. Sounds like standard, right? So, and then it also says the EDT concentration. The bottom, as usual, you're gonna get the your information. At the back, I really like this part where they put the shape of the bottle. So basically it looks very nice. Okay, so on the top you're gonna get a little bit more information. It's written there, the names and all, it's written there. So basically, yeah, that's about it. So pretty nice box. So let's go to the presentation for the bottle. I really love this bottle, guys. This I think one of the nicest bottle that basically the Burberry's bottles, the presentation, basically many of their bottles, they look alike, but this one, the color combination and the pattern, I think looks a bit better. All right, and then it has the black cap, see-through though, but it moves nicely. It sits securely, you can pick it up, but then it moves like this, right? It's kind of cool. So it has the pattern at the bottom. You're gonna get your information. All right, and it's a see-through bottle, even though it's a bit opaque, but it's not entirely opaque. You can see through and see your level of juice if you put it against the light. All right, so let's see about this house. Actually, Burberry, for me, I started discovering this house a bit later on my later part of my fragrance journey. I was very interested in Chanel's and Dior's. Obviously, people who are collectors and into designer games, they always try to get in their head like Dior's and Chanel's must buys, you know, like they have to get their Chanel Allure, they have to get their their own, you know, that sort of a thing. So this one came much later in my collection as my taste developed, and this is not actually not used to be one of my favorite genre of fragrances, but I happened to, you know, grow into it, and then I happened to fall in love with this kind of fragrances. So Burberry, what else do they have in their house? Okay, so if I see, I prepared some notes, so I'll be reading from my notes just to make sure I get it right. All right, so you get from Burberry's, you also get London, which I think is absolute gem. It's one of my favorite fragrances, as I mentioned in my top 10. Beautiful, beautiful, the festive sort of port wine, and then the sweetness and the coziness by sitting by the fireplace. Beautiful, beautiful scent. I happen to own that as well. So this is my second Burberry. So they also happen to have the Touch, which is a bit powdery and then peppery, which I am also thinking to buy because the bottle presentation is beautiful. Also, they have the original Brit, excuse me, the original Brit, which is this flanker 4, because this one has a lot of flankers. They have also the Brit Summer, and they have Brit Rhythm Intense, which happens to be an amped up version of this, which I couldn't find, so I got this. Also, they have the Beat. I haven't tried that, I haven't got my nose in it. And then there happens to be one Sport, and then also have Burberry for men. Okay, and they also have the recent one is Mr. Burberry. All right. So among those, there are a few actually good fragrances, solid fragrances in there, but their style of fragrances, like what I really feel, it's more modern and bit more classier and bit more like, you know, it's like hidden gem sort of a house. You know, they have so many releases like Bulgari. They have very high class ornaments sort of thing. Their jewelries and the watches, everything's so up class. But then somehow they don't get the same, you know, like respect as the other like fashion houses, right? So basically, Burberry for me is a very classy house. You know, their fragrances, what more I'm smelling, more I'm loving. So how did I come up, you know, to this fragrance? So there are two parts of the story. First part is one of my friends, he happened to own like few fragrances back in the days, like 2 years ago, or maybe like 1.5 years ago. So I saw in his collection that he had Azaros Chrome, he had this, and he had CK1. So basically I was like, you know, your fragrances are like kinda, you know, not my style, but respect, you know. So I smelled it on him. I was like, this Burberry Brit Rhythm, I smelled it on him. I saw the bottle. I liked the bottle, but I didn't like it how it smelled first time. You know, like it had that powderiness and stuff. It had the pepper. So it comes to you as first, not that, you know, likable sort of a scent. But then, you know, I was like, okay, all right, I remember it. And then second part, I was looking for Burberry's house, this fragrance review. So on YouTube, I saw Chaz review and I saw a few reviews, 860 cologne something. So they're like solid, if you have to say solid fragrances reviews for this fragrance, there are not that many. I just found 5 to 6 solid reviews. All right, so I was like looking for information, but I couldn't find any. So I was like, I have the sample, but I don't have enough reviews or opinions, so I don't know what this fragrance is all about. So I decided, like, let's talk about it. All right, so this fragrance, the price wise, they have two bottle sizes if I'm not mistaken. The smaller one, I think 50 ml, and the bigger one is 90 ml. So the smaller one, you're gonna end up paying 60 to 70 USD, and this one you're gonna pay 100 because it's higher on the designer. But the thing is, it's worth the penny, I think, you know. So let's get into the notes. What is this fragrance all about? All right, so on the main notes, according to my nose, there are lots of notes enlisted in the fragrance net, and then, you know, Fragrantica. But then I try to smell it, and then from time to time I try to pick up the notes, you know. So for me, according to my nose, the first time you spray it on your skin, what are you gonna get? To me, I get that bergamot. It's like that lemony feel. Not really lemon, it's bergamot, you know. It's like there in the opening, mixes with pepper, a lot of pepper, you know. It's not that sort of pepper that burns your nose. You're not gonna be like sniffing and you're like, oh, you faint. No, you're not gonna get that sort of a thing, but you're gonna get that strong peppery opening. And then right away it hits you, you know. It starts moving to that middle sort of like a middle part very quickly, and then goes to that powdery side of it. So the beauty of this powdery scents is, you know, if you happen to grow your taste and you got a little bit mature and you like those night out scents, and you like your, you know, mysterious dark scents, and you like a little bit incense and woodsy and then spicy, and you want to be a little bit different from others, you know, not those bros who are with their 1 millions spice bombs, or what else can I say, lamals. So this is different from that. So still it's classified as those, you know, night out scents. So basically it goes to that powdery zone quite, you know, quickly. So you're gonna see the powdery effect taking place. So where does this powderiness come from? So I saw the notes and I, you know, like kind of realized, you know, it's coming from that lavender. You know, it has that lavender written all over it, you know. So basically lavender, you get the spiciness and then all the herbs that come to play. You get some mint, some basil, and there's no coriander in it, I think. So that black pepper mixing with all those herbs, so it's like the powdery, that bit floral of lavender, and it's coming with mixing with lot of herbs, you know. So it's kind of like giving you the same vibe as the Burberry London that I own, happen to love. And then it's perfect for the winter occasion, you know, like cooler zones like autumn, spring, you know, the weather is a bit cooler, and at night, you know, it's a bit quiet, and you want to wear something a bit darker, and then, you know, you want to enjoy your, you know, fragrance. So basically it's coming to the spice festival again, you know, that festive thing is coming to you, but then it has some sweetness. So I was wondering, like, where is this sweetness coming from, and what does it remind me of? A few days back I was reviewing Carolina Herrera's, if you remember that fragrance, the Carolina Herrera Sage Men. So I was talking about it, you know. It's a very sweet scent, alluring scent, very sexy scent, and women happen to love to, you know, smell it on your skin. So you get, if you can imagine that, the sweet leather note of that, minus the sugar cane, and you add a little bit powder to it, what you're gonna get? You're gonna get this baby. Exactly, you know, that's what it smells like. It's super sexy, super mysterious, super dark. At the same time, it has that sweetness that you like as well. And then for the cooler nights, you know, like cozy, and you hang out with your mature friends, not the childish ones, like your grown-up friends who happen to know, you know, a lot of things about life, and they happen to give you those mature suggestions like don't do it, you know, rather than those friends like go like, hey bro, let's just shoot, you know. So this, according to my nose, why I liked it, I realize now. I like it because it's that grown-up vibe, not old, not dated, not grandpa, but when man transforming into a man from a teenager, you know, you are turning into like 25 and up, and you're like, yeah, that vibe, you know. It has a little bit playfulness, but with a lot of decency and morals, that sort of, I don't know if that makes any sense. So basically, let me show you the sprayer of this. All right, basically the cap, I'll show you the cap is a bit plasticky, it's dark but see-through. And on the sprayer, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, it has some, okay, you cannot see, it's in white font, it's written the fragrance name, so pretty nice. Okay, so let me show you the sprayer. All right, here you go. Gives a pretty good mist. It's pretty decent sprayer, very nice sprayer, I must say. If it's not an A, it should be A minus, that sort of a sprayer. So the first opening is the best part for me, like for this fragrance. The longevity in this fragrance, it's not as bad as the London, but it's not that potent like Amen or Lamal or Ultramal. It stays somewhere in the moderate. It's not, it's like if it's higher up here and lower, somewhere in between. All right, so for, I don't know about the rest of the guys, like for me on a cooler night or like when it's a little less heat, it gives me about 4 hours max. That's the lifeline from this fragrance, and then it projects nicely for 1 to 2 hours, and then very slowly it will turn down, you know, like this powderiness, and go to the leather, you know. So the base of it is the leather. That's the highlight, sweet leather, not the animalistic leather. So it starts up spices, goes a little bit on the floral mixed with the lavender and the powderiness. Last stage is going to give you the leather. So very comforting scent, you know. It's a very personal scent, which is a signature from Burberry all the time, you know, like their fragrances, more like try their fragrances. It gives me more of those, warm feel, like that, more manly, bit more quiet. If you can imagine like maybe a younger, like a individual who's working and who's more, like well established, but at the same time he's very composed, well composed, doesn't speak with so much like flurry, like charisma. No, this guy is more like a confident, very, as I mentioned, like very well composed, very well spoken, and softly spoken. That sort of a man. This is built for night, built for comfort, built for your date nights. Beautiful dinner. It will work beautifully. If you happen to travel to another country which has, you're going for like maybe a week, like you're going for those classy sort of a city, like you're going to Paris. This is made in France, so maybe it's just like coincidence or something, but you're taking more into those classy cities, those city lights at night, and then there are fancy sort of occasion. This one suits perfectly. So what also it gives is the sweetness, as I mentioned before, the sweetness. That's what is so likable about this fragrance. So leather based fragrance, usually it's a love or hate. Many people hate the note of leather. I happen to love, mostly on most part, I love the note of leather, but you have to know how to handle it. You have to know when to wear it. Leather fragrance, it's mostly always like the winter time, right? So I'm very excited because I'm going to Bangladesh, and then as I'm going back, and winter is coming. So I'm very glad I was looking for something from that whole list that I mentioned earlier part, those sweet sort of, it's just getting boring a little bit, like I wanted something different, unique, that I don't have anything that smells like it, So I happen to have Bulgari's Men in Black, which is a bit spicy, rum. I have the CH Men Privé. So when I was looking into Spice Bomb, which was, I mentioned, that higher up on my list, I was like, nothing new. This stuff, I've been having that sample for a very long time, loving it for a very long time, was in the doubt, should I get it or not, the performance and all. I said, to hell with it, go with this baby. It gives me that presentation, that the darkness, and now I'm more into from those crowd pleaser sense, and then those Nautica Voyage, and then when I started off from that phase, I'm moving slowly into those night out, those sophisticated and bit more toned down EDPs, So I was mentioning about those Valentino Umo Intense. I got the La Mole Essence, and then I got the Bleu de Chanel. So that's sort of a family this one belongs to. So I really love those night out scents, and I'm really excited to wear this in Bangladesh during the time of winter. Stays very, very cold, goes somewhere like 15 degrees or so, very foggy. I think this will perform very nicely. So I'm looking forward to it. Not very sure how this is going to perform, but I'm very excited. So my mark for this, for longevity and projection, I think it will get like a 7. I'm not going to give more than that because it doesn't give you that sort of a performance that you look for. For the compliment factors, on the other hand, if you happen to know any lady who know a bit about fragrances, like she's into this fragrance game, and she also happens to enjoy the good quality, good fragrances that has like good components to it, like they've been using good ingredients, they're gonna love this. Well educated ladies, they're gonna be able to sniff this, they're gonna find it very nice. Some ladies, some younger ladies in the club, like those who are in the school and colleges, I think maybe this is not for them. So if you're looking for something younger, I think you try with something like, maybe I got a sample for, as you can see here, 212 VIP Men, just an example. So this one happens to be a clubbing scent, more of a younger vibe, the 1 millions, if you think of Invictus, those sort of thing. This one is a bit maybe for older crowds. So basically, for compliment factors, if you happen to wear it in the right group, you're gonna get good compliments with this. So compliment wise and the likability wise, I'll give this a 9.5. And the thing is, as a whole scent, as a whole package, and the presentation and everything, this happens to get, I think from me, I'll give this 8.5. Altogether, it's 8.5 is a very solid mark. And then as I go down to wear some more, like in the winter, it happens to perform the way I want it to, it might go up, right? So this is something different that I got in my collection, very happy about that. And then I'm thinking to buy a few more Burberry's fragrances. So this and the London, those are the reasons. So basically that's all for right now. And I don't know, it's just like the whole darker fragrance is getting to me or not, but this I really love, and I really hope that people get your nose into this if you're looking for something different than your usual sweet and then typical 1 million sort of a scent, right? So not to say 1 million is a bad scent, but it's a very popular one. This happens to be a little different. So you guys take care, and let me know your opinion on it, and then hope to see some comments, you know, and some of your inputs in my video. So take care guys, hope to see you soon. Good night from Kel.